What's going on, it's your boy JTLive, and welcome back to another episode of South Stand Stories, and it's another home game and another win for Leeds United. We're really starting to rack these wins up now, aren't we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've lost count at the amount of win streak that Leeds have got going on at home. The amount of undefeated games, because it's gone on all season. Elland Road is the fortress of all fortresses, and I'm telling you, for the first time in a long time, I've got some serious confidence going that Leeds are going to start cooking and that those top two spots are coming. Because listen, we've already dished up Ipswich once. We've already slapped up Leicester at the King Power. When those boys come over to Elland Road, it's going to be more of the same. When any team comes over to Elland Road, it's more of the same. Alright, it doesn't matter if we concede first. We conceded first 2 games in a row. And we come back instantly. Within the opening 10 minutes, we scored 2 goals. There are a couple of negatives to that. And I will get onto them in a bit. But first of all, my instant thoughts. I've just watched the game back. I'm coming to you again. And yes, there are a couple of negatives, but the instant thoughts cannot be denied still. And that is that it's another game, another home match, and another win. Not only are we keeping our home win streak alive, we're keeping our 2-game win streak now intact. We're keeping our unbeaten streak intact. And we're starting to push up towards those top 2 places. I know Leicester squeaked out a 94th minute winner. I know Ipswich won today. But it was still a good week for Leeds. It's still been a good week. 2 games. We've closed the gap that we should have really closed if we hadn't dropped those points to Rotherham even closer. But Leicester dropping points, Leeds picking up points. The top 2 is within our grasp now. It is within our grasp. It's just a matter of keeping this consistency going. Now, what is the thing that we're not doing? What is the point that Leeds do need to get going? You know, what is our deficiency in our game? And it's very obvious, if you ask me. The deficiency in our game is a lack of a full game. Now, what do I mean by that? You know, that sounds a bit vague just coming out like that. A lack of a full, consistent performance over 90 minutes. We're a team of 2 halves. Either we turn up like we did today, absolutely cruise through someone in the first half, score 3 goals, smash the ball into the back of the net, have a lot of fun doing it, create a load of chances, and then in the second half, I don't know what they do at half-time. They go in, they get some sleeping pills, whatever. They come out in the second half, and no goals at all. Just a lot more flat, a lot less tempo to the game, a lot more placid, and that's exactly what happened today. I know we only went into half-time with a 1-goal lead because of some stupid defending. That set piece before half-time. What a ridiculous way to concede. But we still scored 3 goals. And then what happens? We go into the second half. A second half which they spent about 75% of it with 10 men. And we still couldn't score. We still couldn't increase the scoreline. We had a couple of decent chances, but we didn't have that many great chances. Aside from the one with Rutter, which inexcusably got called as a goal kick when the keeper saved it. Having said that, Rutter should be scoring that 10 times out of 10. I don't know what he's playing at there. Aside from that opportunity, Leeds didn't... I can't think of too many crazy clear-cut ones within the second half. I thought the changes, you know, it was too late for them to really impact things. The only one of the substitutes I was really impressed with, though, was Wilfried Gnonto. I have to say, over the past few weeks, he's starting to impress me. You know, I did just want to touch on that quickly because Wilfried Gnonto, for me, at the beginning of the season, was very, you know, flattered to deceive. He was not the player that we expected him to be. He was not the player that he was last year in the Premier League, that's for sure. And he just looked like his hunger had gone. It looked like he wasn't really in it. You know, his head wasn't in it. His head wasn't in Leeds. And his performances really reflected that. But the past few games I've seen, especially today, he has not only been hungry, he has been starving for a goal, for some sort of action, to create something, to manufacture a goal out of nowhere, to get himself into that starting 11. I saw him at one point sprint with the ball all the way from the right side over to the left-hand side of the pitch, basically occupied Somerville's position there, crowded him out, if anything, if you're going to point negative out of it, but basically pushed Somerville to the side and said, no, I'm going to stay on this wing now where the ball is. Give me the goddamn ball. I'm going to try and take someone and cross it in. And the whole rest of that 10-minute action that he had, I know 10 minutes is a bit laughable to say that, but he looked hungry, man. He looked like if anyone was going to create something there, it was going to be him while he was on the pitch. Now, the only question mark with that is, do we then put him in the side and give him a start? Well, Dan James has just scored in, 5 consecutive home matches now? I mean, it's pretty hard to drop Dan James. He's been in good goal-scoring form, which I never thought I'd be saying about Dan James, but he's been playing well. He has been playing very, very well, and I would argue potentially is undroppable until performances state otherwise. But what I would potentially say is if he does step off the boil a little bit, maybe you give Nod to half an hour next time, maybe you give him 45 minutes, and then you see how things shape up from there. And listen, it's a long season, we might have some injuries. You know, it only says good things for Leeds. Now, the only negative I could potentially sway on that is Nonto raising his performances just because there's a transfer window coming up soon? Is that why? Is he trying to get himself in the shop window? Is he trying to get himself away from Leeds United? Now, that much is currently unknown, but we will have to only wait and see with that one. But those are the substitutes. No one else really made that much of an impact when they came on. But then again, they only had 10 minutes, or in some cases, 3-4 minutes to make an impact. So, not a lot of action for a lot of players out there. But at least we did see some goals. And some goals in the first half. Some great goals as well. Summerfield's one was a little bit questionable. You know, it was interesting in the way that the ball got to him. But, you know, leap like a salmon over the defender. Bang! Nods it down. Beautiful goal. And just good action, again, from Leeds. Good action early doors. And a nice, exciting half of football. But as I said, I would like to see us have a full performance. Because either we switch off in the first half, we're placid, and then in the second half we turn it on and we get a couple of goals, or we play around in the first half, score some goals, don't completely kill the game off, and then second half do nothing and hang on for a 1 or 2 goal lead win, or in some cases, blow it away needlessly. Also conceding on the 45th minute mark does seem to be a bit of a ritual for Leeds. That's 2 games in 3 that we've done that now, which is really not good signs because, yes, we got away with it today, especially with them going down to 10 men. We didn't get away with it against Rotherham, and it could have been worse against Rotherham as well with the way that we conceded. So we need to stop doing that. It's been a bane of our arthropods for a long time. You know, even last year at Crystal Palace, we conceded that 45th minute free kick, and then we went on from 1-0 lead to lose 5-1 and lost 8 in the bounce after that and got relegated. So, you know, 45th minute does seem to be a little bit of a sticking point for Leeds, and we do need to get over. But, you know, those are the couple of negatives. At the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and gloss over all the negatives because I'm happy. Leeds have won. Another home win, another win in general, and another good day for Leeds United. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Did you agree with me? Do you agree with my assessment over the players, or do you think that certain players should be dropped or brought in, i.e. Wilfred Nonto, Dan James, Bamford over Perot, etc., etc., etc. Let me know down in the comment section down below. For now, guys, I will see you very, very soon. Au revoir, my brothers and my sisters.